Okay, this is 216 Linear Systems Practice, and I'm going to give you some cues to pause the video, try a couple problems, come back, pause the video, and so on. So for number one, if you want to figure out if this ordered pair is a solution to the system, you're going to test by plugging in 0 and -4 for x and y and see if it makes a true statement for both of the equations. So pause the video and try example 1 and 2. Okay, when I plug in 0, I get 0, and then I get minus a -4, and that does not equal 10, so it is not a solution because it did not work in the first equation. So I don't even need to try the second equation. All right, now I'm going to plug in -3 and -2. So plugging in -3 would give me -9, and I'm subtracting, well, I'm actually going to add 4, right? Because -2 times -2 is +4. So I get -5, which is exactly what I wanted to get. And then I plug in -3, I get -12 minus 6, and that is -18. So yes, this one is a solution. So now you're going to pause the video and try examples 3, 4, and 5, graphing them to find the intersection. So this is in slope-intercept form. So I'm going to start at 6 on the y-axis, and I can make it up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1. I can also go down 2 over 1. I should use a ruler to connect this with a straight line because a line goes forever. And then the second equation, I still need to get y by itself. The easiest way is to add 3 to the other side because that will immediately get y by itself. So I could rewrite this as y equals x plus 3 because as long as things are on the same side of the equation, you can rewrite it in whatever order you want. So I'm going to start at 3 on the y-axis, and I have a slope of 1 over 1. Up 1 over 1, down 1 over 1. Looks like, oops, cross right here. Can't see my dots. All right, so that would be the intersection point. So that looks like it is at -3, comma 0, and you can always test it by plugging it back in. So see how 2 times -3 is -6, plus 6 is 0. And if I plug -3 over here, 0 minus 3 is -3. So this makes both equations true, so I know that I've found the correct answer. X equals 2 is a vertical line, and many of you missed that on the quiz. So make sure you know how to graph vertical lines. I need to put this in slope-intercept form. So I have -y equals -3x plus 8. And then I'm going to switch the sign all the way across. That's like dividing by -1. So y equals +3x and minus 8. So I'm going to start at -8 on the y-axis. And I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3 over 1, up 1, 2, 3 over 1. Looks like I hit right there at 2, comma, -2. I can double check that it works. X equals 2, so 2 equals 2. Plug it back in, I would get -6 minus, +6 minus a -2 does equal 8. So I check that it works. Right, y equals 1/2 x. I can add a 0 going through the origin. Up 1 over 2 for my slope. And I would have to subtract 2x. So y equals -2x plus 10. So I'm at 10. I'm going down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. Looks like I hit at 4, comma 2, I'm pretty sure. So when I plug it back in, half of 4 is 2. Plug it back in, 8 plus 2 is 10. So I know that that's the correct answer. So now you are going to pause the video and try substitution elimination on 6, 7, and 8. And it's only by trying these on your own that you're going to figure out what you're doing wrong, how to do them. All right, I'm going to do a couple of the methods. So this first one, can you tell what it is set up to do? I think this is a beautiful elimination problem. X's, Y's, constants are lined up, and X minus X gives me 0 right away, so I can eliminate the X's. Then I add together, and I get 3Y equals 12. So my final answer is that Y equals 4. And then remember, I have to plug that back in to one of the top equations. So X plus 2 times 4 equals 10. 2 times 4 is 8. So when I subtract 8 from both sides, I get positive 2 for X. So my final solution is 2, 4. Always put X first. All right, so number 7, they are lined up. So if you want to try elimination, you could. I would multiply the bottom row by -3. I'm going to show you a substitution problem because if I add x to the other side, y equals 2 plus x, and I can do substitution. So I'm going to plug this back in for the y at the top. 3 parentheses 2 plus x minus 8x equals 9. So I've taken this rectangle and I've plugged it into the top equation for y, right? Because this was isolated, I'm plugging it in for y. Distributive property, 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times x is 3x minus 8x equals 9. 6 minus 5x equals 9, combine like terms. Subtract 3, negative 5x equals 6. That doesn't look right, but let's go with it. X equals negative 6/5. Yikes, that didn't come out as an integer. Maybe I made a mistake. Let's see. When I plug x back in, I would get 2 plus negative 6/5 has to equal whatever y is. So 2 plus negative 6/5 would equal 4/5, right? Let's see if that makes sense. Oops, good thing I showed my work. Figured out what I did wrong. So even I make mistakes. Subtract 6. I knew that I was wrong because when I plugged it back in, it didn't give me the right answer. So 9 minus 6 is 3. So x would be so fixed it. X is negative 3/5 and y is 7/5. And when I plugged it back in, I did get the right answer. So this would definitely be a more challenging problem because it came out not as an integer, but I think some of you are up to the challenge for that, and you can see that even I make mistakes and need to check over my work to make sure my answer is going to work in the original problem. So my answer is negative 3/5 and 7/5. All right, so this last one, I'm going to solve by elimination because it's already lined up and it looks like it would be hard to get one of the variables by itself. So I'm going to try to eliminate my x's by getting to 10. So I'm going to multiply the top equation by -5 and the bottom equation by +2. So I'd have negative 10x plus 30y equals, what's 5 times 16? 80. And then I have positive 10x plus 14y equals negative 36. So I have 44y equals, let's see, 80 minus 36 is 44, right? So y has to be 1. And when I plug that back in up here into this equation, 2x minus 6 equals negative 16. Add 6 to the other side, I would get negative 10. So x must be negative 5. And I should check that in my second equation. So I'd get negative 25 here, and I'd be adding 7, and that would give me negative 18. So I know that it works in the other equation, and I didn't show you what I just did, but multiplied by negative 5, multiplied by positive 2, eliminated the x's, and I got y was 1, and then I plugged it back in and found that x was negative 5. Okay, so now you should pause the video and try 9, 10, and 11, because those are the application problems about linear systems. And now I'm going to show you the solutions. So let's see, a buffet restaurant has one price for adults, another price for children. The Smith family has 2 adults and 3 children, and this was their bill. The Jones family has 3 adults and 1 child, and that was their bill. We want to find the price of an adult meal and the price of a child meal. The first family had 2 adults and 3 children and paid $40.50. And the second family had 3 adults and 1 child and paid $38. This looks like a beautiful elimination problem if I multiply through by negative 3, because that will eliminate my y's for me. So negative 9x minus 3y equals negative 3 times 38. Negative 114, did that, gone. So I get negative 7x equals $40.50 minus 114. Negative 73.50, and I'm dividing by negative 7. So the adult meal costs $10.50. So adult is $10.50. And then I need to plug that back into one of the equations. So I'm going to plug it into 3 times 10.50 plus y equals 38. 3 times 10.50, 31.50. So I'm going to subtract 31.50 to the other side. 38 minus 31.50, $6.50 is the child's price of the meal. All right, and then they just want you to set up a system of equations in 10 and 11 and not actually solve it. The cost of 2 burritos and 1 tortilla salad is $20.57. 3 burritos and 3 salads is this amount, which could be used to determine B. So they're letting B be burrito and T be tortilla. So 2B plus 1T equals $20.50. So 2B plus T, 2B plus T, 2B plus, no, this one's wrong. Okay. So 3 burritos, 3 tortillas would be this one. So the answer would be B. Erica's training for a marathon. This week she ran 6 less than 2 times the miles she ran last week. In these 2 weeks, she ran a total of 42 miles. So they want X. X is this week and Y is last week. So this one's easy. So the easiest equation is that X plus Y has to equal 42, and it looks like every equation is there. So this week, which is X, she ran. So to me, that means X equals 6 less than 2 times last week. So 2y. So this week she ran 2 times last week minus 6. I think I'm looking for this equation. X equals 2 y minus 6, so choice A.